Part 6. Inside the banned books. The shocking content they didn't want you to see. What if I told you there's a version of the Bible that talks about Jesus as a child performing miracles, giants walking the earth, and angels falling from heaven, and honestly, it's been hiding in Ethiopia all along? We're not just talking about a longer Bible here, we're talking about a Bible that contains entire chapters of spiritual and historical knowledge that, well, the Western world left out intentionally. And now it's time to open those pages and see exactly what's inside. The missing years of Jesus revealed. Let's be real for a second. We know about Jesus being born. We know about him at 12 in the temple. Then boom, he's suddenly 30, getting baptized. But what happened in those 18 mysterious years? The King James Bible is silent, but the Ethiopian Bible, it talks loudly. The infancy gospel of Thomas. One of the most explosive texts in the Ethiopian biblical collection is the infancy gospel of Thomas. And no, it's not the doubting Thomas you've heard of. This gospel tells the story of Jesus as a child. Some mind-blowing highlights. At age 5, Jesus is said to have molded birds from clay and brought them to life with a single word. He had supernatural knowledge of people's thoughts and hidden secrets. He even healed people with a mere command as a child. At times, he acted out with power in ways that shocked villagers and teachers. The point? The Gospel shows a fully divine child aware of his power early on, navigating a world that wasn't ready for him. Why was this banned? Because it challenges the idea that Jesus only became aware of his mission later in life. And it presents a divine child with power, will and personality, not the tame version Western theology preferred. Let's talk about the book of Enoch. A favorite in ancient times, quoted in the New Testament. Yes, really, but banned in the West. Ethiopia preserved it, protected it, honored it. What does Enoch reveal? A time when angels came down to earth and intermarried with humans. These angels, called watchers, taught humans advanced knowledge, technology, weaponry, sorcery and astrology. The result? A race of giants, the Nephilim, who corrupted the world. God sends the flood to cleanse the earth, but Enoch is taken to heaven alive, where he's shown visions of the end times. The book is wild, mystical, and deeply spiritual. It describes heavenly dimensions, cosmic judgment, and divine secrets. Why was it banned? Because it gave too much detail, too much power to the reader. And it didn't align with the Roman Empire's new Christianity, which wanted a controlled, simplified doctrine. But Ethiopia, they never let it go. All right, folks, next up we have the Book of Jubilees, often referred to as the Little Genesis. Now, this fascinating book, it retells the stories of Genesis and Exodus, but with, a bit more cosmic detail. It breaks human history into 49-year periods, which are known as Jubilees. Pretty intriguing, right? And get this. It introduces the involvement of angels in human history. That's something, isn't it? It also highlights a celestial calendar suggesting a divine order to time itself. There's talk about the true Sabbath, the spiritual law, and even the judgment of nations. In the Ethiopian Bible, this book is quite significant. It's seen as a roadmap of God's timeline and is considered sacred scripture. But in the West, well, it's often seen as having too much depth, being too mystical and perhaps a bit too threatening. Quite the contrast, huh? Then, the 1, 2 and 3 Maccabean Maccabees. Wait, you thought Maccabees stopped at 2? Think again. The Ethiopian Bible has 3 books of Maccabean, which aren't even found in the Catholic or Protestant versions. These books are completely different from the Maccabees in Western Bibles. They speak about righteous leaders fighting idol worship, the power of faith against empire, divine justice and African resistance. Sound familiar? These aren't just stories, they're blueprints for liberation. If these books were in everyone's Bible, we'd have a very different view of Jesus, of Africa's role in Christianity, and of spiritual power in general. Here's what they reveal. Jesus wasn't just divine, he was active, aware and powerful from a young age. Spiritual warfare was real and ancient. Africa had preserved truths that were scrubbed from Europe. The Bible was never supposed to be one size fits all. And that is a game changer. But why was the Ethiopian Bible kept hidden? You already know. Because if people realized that Africa had the oldest, most complete Bible, that the missing books shed light on Jesus' life, and that the West cut out spiritual texts for control, then everything we thought we knew would be questioned. It would shake theology, empower Africans, and disrupt power structures. So instead of celebrating it, the Ethiopian Bible was ignored, dismissed, and silenced. But not anymore. Today, scholars, seekers, and believers are turning to Ethiopia to reclaim the full story of faith. And it's not just about religion. It's about identity, truth, liberation. In Part 7, we'll uncover how the Ethiopian Bible survived centuries of silence, the contemporary evidence supporting its authenticity, and why it's gaining popularity again today. Let's talk scrolls, language, translations, and the astonishing proof that Ethiopia has been holding the real story all along. The truth is just getting warmed up.